Good evening, everyone. It's time for another late night Ace Attorney stream. Hopefully we get a lot of shit done tonight. I feel like I've been slacking, you know? I'm lacking. I'm lagging behind, so to speak. Yeah, my recent Ace Attorney streams have been pretty short. Hopefully, I can stay relatively awake for this one. Although, I'd like to think it's not entirely my fault, right? Hey, game, would you like to show up, please? Holy shit, Edna, you're alive. How have you been? It's been a hot minute, huh? And it's also been a hot minute. Okay, there we go. Holy shit, that's a while. Good to see you again. All right. All right, I'll just get this out of the way. Today's the funny number day. Today's the weed number day. Yes. Get it out of your system. Laugh. Ha ha ha. All right, sir. So we left off in the middle of a cross-examination of Mr. Yuri Cosmos. So I believe last time let's see. Let's just go back and see what he said. That bullet that mysterious figure shot, what did it hit exactly? It hit Cosmos. And it hit Cosmos because it... Well, he survived because it hit his... metal. It ricocheted off. Okay, so what did he really see? It's been hectic? Well, I'm glad you survived all that. You are alive. That is a cause for celebration. Take a quick sip of water here. Alright. Arm and I rushed to the control room together. In the lounge, we saw a figure standing in the middle of the room and Terran on the floor. We were still in the control room to the east when the figure fired at us. We're still in the control room to the east when the figure fired at us. Okay.
Hold it!
We've already heard all about that part. Don't you have any new information? Well, let me see. If you have an hour or two, I can tell you all about the Hat One miracle.
Hold it!
I still don't understand this guy's motive, though. We already know all about that, too. Tell us about something related to this incident. I see. You want to know about incidents. Well then, let me tell you about the many incidents that made me the man I am today. Yes, if you have the time, I will tell you all about the upbringing of this great man.
Hold it!
He really is the kind of guy to call himself great, huh? You told us all about that already as well. What we need now is your testimony. Did I really already tell you all about my upbringing? Oh, I don't recall doing so. Director Cosmos, perhaps you should save your boastful tales for later. If I must. Well, we peeked in the control room door and, my voices for Cosmos and the judge are very similar. I'm beginning to realize that. Okay, in the lounge we saw a figure standing in the middle of the room and Terran on the floor.
Hold it!
But it was so dark you couldn't see this figure's face, isn't that right? Yes, the room was as deep and dark as outer space itself. Speaking of outer space, during the Hat 1 launch 7 years ago, do not talk about the now. Talk about now, please. Don't talk about the Hat 1 fucking. Ugh. If it's about that Hat 1 miracle again, you can sod off and tell it to a straight mutt. That's what I'm saying, Blackwell. Yeah, Cosmos is probably the bad guy. I feel like it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. Ha ha ha! Excellent idea. No reason why the animal shouldn't hear of my greatness. The animal world shouldn't hear my greatness. And so they shall. But first, your testimony. What happened next?
Hold it!
So in other words, you were fired while you were at the control room door. That is correct. There's something not quite right about that. Director Cosmos, the bullet this person fired hit you, isn't that right? Yes, it was a miracle befitting a great history-making figure such as myself. The bullet the figure fired hit me while I was in the control room. Hold on a second, hold on. I know it's been a week, but I remember this. I remember finding a bullet in the gutter. And the gutter was, where was it? Found near the victim's oxygen tank. No, not that one. This one. Discovered in a gutter that runs along the south wall of the boarding lounge. It was fired from a .10 caliber handgun. Right, so the south wall would be completely opposite from the control room, basically. Near that corner where the Launchpad 1 corridor is. Like, how would that bullet get there if the perp fired at the control room? But as the Cosmos would have it, the bullet bounced off my glorious Medal of Honor. In that case, the bullet should have wound up somewhere around the control room door. Okay, so Director Cosmos was in the control room to the east. And while he was there, he was shot at by someone with a .10 caliber gun. But the bullet hit his medal, so he was able to escape with his life. He's a very lucky man. No wonder people think he's great. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky myself. So if he's a great man, then I'm the king of all cosmos. Damn right, Phoenix. Alright. Where is... Here it is.
Objection!
Dr. Cosmos, I believe you are telling this great court a glorious lie. A glorious lie. A great man like me? Tell a lie? Have you ever heard of such a thing in all of history? My accusation is based on the positions of the people who were in the lounge. According to your testimony, you and Detective Arm were near the control room door, and the mystery figure was standing in the middle of the boarding lounge. If, as you say, the figure fired a gun at you from this position, then the bullet would have traveled in this direction. Phew. Yep. However, we found the .10 caliber bullet here. That's right. Oh. This trajectory and where the bullet was actually found contradict each other. Director Cosmos? Where were you really when you were being shot at? Oh! What is this? Spin! He's a spinny man. That's a very funny animation. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the human merry-go-round.
Objection!
Don't tell me you've forgotten already. Didn't the witness himself just tell you? The bullet hit his medal. Okay, you're telling me the medal was able to reflect the bullet all the way over there? Of this, there is no mistake.
Objection!
But in that case, the bullet should have been found near the east side of the room. Are you trying to say that you can explain this inconsistency? Of course. I didn't think so. What? Oh, great, Director Cosmos. Yes? Is there something you'd like me to expound upon? You were, in fact, not in the control room to the east, were you? Oh, he's doing his, fucking Jedi mind control. You were looking into the lounge from the door to the south, is that not right? You were looking into the lounge from the door to the south? Why is he just trying to say that? No, actually, you were in another room. Oh! What are you getting at? Use your own brain. Your head must have... Oh, okay. That sentence came out weird. Your head must have some use other than housing that bird's nest. Bird's nest? Why does everyone pick up my hair? Director Cosmos and the detective witnessed the scene from the southern door. Why are you just saying that? Okay, no, actually they're from the south door. What's your evidence? The killer fired at them there, and that is why the bullet was found in the south. Ah, that makes some sense, actually. Also, the witness being at the southern door was rather favorable for the prosecution. What evidence do you have? The witness literally said he was at the other door. Huh? Got a bad feeling about this. How about it, Director? If you don't tell the truth this time... Oh, and there they break. Yikes! Oh, his handcuffs. You'll become but rust upon my sword. I relish the chance to cut down a great man. Alright, I'll tell the truth. Just put your sword away. Oh, he's revving up. You're correct. I, the great Yuri Cosmos, was looking into the room from the southern door. What? It's the complete opposite of all the testimony he's given so far. And now you have lost your possibility that a third person was in the room. Have? How? The director and the detective were near the southern door. Okay, so I guess Yuri Cosmos just straight up lied. You know, it's another day in the courts of Ace Attorney. Witnesses can commit perjury all they like. Meaning the killer couldn't have escaped through there. The western door required print recognition. The corridor beyond was filled with smoke. The only escape route left was the eastern control room door. The only way to get through there was with Director Cosmos' fingerprints. In short, there would be no escape for any third person had there been one. Ah! Oh. My third person just disappeared. Like in one of Juicy's magic tricks. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's actually fairly convincing if you look over the whole straight up complete opposite of the all previous testimony so far bit. Dr. Cosmos, why did you tell such an outrageous lie? Hmm? You were covering for the defendant, isn't that right? Yes, it was all for the love of my men. I said I was in the eastern control room. It would mean the culprit could have escaped the southern door. It would have meant that there could have been a third person. All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. I said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for a third person. Protect Starbuck, my ass. You did it to protect yourself. Because if there's no third person, that means the killer must be you. What a convoluted lie. Was he really covering for the defendant? Looks like we've come to a conclusion. Ah, but that means Blackwell helped us reach our conclusion, the truth. The defense's argument, the possibility of a third person has crumbled. No! It's over. Yes. The judge is about to hand down his verdict. Phoenix, think. This is the perfect time to try and turn my thinking around. If a third person had no way of escaping the scene, then what if one of the people at the scene was this third person? Wait. What if the whole premise is all wrong? Director Cosmos said that he and Detective Arm rushed to the scene together. But what if that premise isn't true? I mean, it's totally possible, right? Arm is dead at this point. No one can ask her. What if one of them reached the scene before the other one? And if that person entered the lounge, then they would be the third person. The defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim and shot at the director. There doesn't appear to be any room for argument against these claims. I will now render my verdict.
Objection!
Oh, the fancy objection. Please wait, Your Honor. There is still one possibility. Oh, this had better be good, Mr. Wright. It's always good, Judge. You know me. You know me. I'm the Phoenix Wright. There's one and only one person who could have escaped from the scene. That person will be the first person who arrived on the scene. Then, upon entering the boarding lounge, the second person to arrive came via the southern door. That's why the first person fled from the room, using an escape route that was accessible only to them. Very well, let's hear more about this theory. Oh, okay, so... Okay, that makes sense. Yuri came into the room first. You shot at Clay. Right, so that's how that bullet in the gutter appeared. And then, as Yuri was making his escape to the East Control Room, Detective Arm showed up and then shot towards him. And that's how the that's how the bullet hole in the glass appeared. Alright, who's this one person who could have escaped from the boarding lounge?
Take that!
What? But that's... It's right. What are you claiming here? Of all the people who were at the scene, only the witness could have escaped. The director is the only one with authority to open the control room door, after all. But what? That means... Yes, sir. Exactly. The true identity of the third person is our current witness. Director Yuri Cosmos. Oh! He looks so goofy. What? What? Order! Order in the court, I say. Mr. Wright, you will explain yourself in more detail. Music's so hype. What a contrast compared to the cross-examination theme. I assert that Director Cosmos arrived at the scene before Detective Arm and entered the boarding lounge alone. Detective Arm arrived after that and saw a suspicious figure who was actually Director Cosmos standing in the lounge. And that's why she fired those 2 warning shots. Hello there, Zaya. I've been hit on the starboard side. Captain Wright! It's a direct hit on the enemy ship, sir. A magnificent shot. How have you been, Zaya? Warning shots fired from the enemy ship. Prepare to intercept. What is this, like, What is this Starship roleplay happening in the middle of the courtroom? Cosmos, you have told a lie in this court once again. I've been hit. I've been hit on the port side. The enemy has called in reinforcements. We're at the Cosmos Control Center. Requesting permission to ask that you return to reality. But my ship will not go down to anything less than the ultimate weapon of evidence.
Objection!
But I do have evidence. In fact, you could say that your battleship bears its scar. If Director Cosmos is the third person or a Blackwell saw. Oh, definitely. Third person fired at Detective Arm and Director Cosmos with a gun. Ah, I guess it is Friday, huh? Well, it'll be Friday for me soon. This week went by fast. In return, the detective fired her warning shots. Isn't that how it really went down, Director Cosmos? Ha ha ha. It looks like you've deduced my miraculous tale of survival. Yes, you're absolutely correct. The mystery person fired upon us. This third person fired at detective. Okay. Director Cosmos must have been the one who fired the .10 caliber gun. Is this C for Cosmos, T for Terran, and A for Arm? When Detective Arm discovered him in the lounge, it only makes sense that he would have turned and shot at her. Therefore, the evidence on the director's body is of a different kind of relevance than before. Excuse me. Once we compare it against another piece of evidence, the mark that you received from the third party will be all the proof we need. Prove that you were the one there in the lounge. Brace for further impact. Comparison against this piece of evidence will prove that you were the one in the lounge. Against which piece of evidence? What do they want? Yeah, let me just review this for a sec. Director Cosmos must have been the only one who fired the .10 caliber gun. Who fired it at Arm. So did that one go in the gutter? The .10 caliber gun. It's found in the gutter. Yeah, that makes sense. When Detective Arm discovered him in the lounge, it only makes sense that he would have turned and shot at her, therefore. Okay, wait, who was shooting at who? Was Terran was shot at by Cosmos, no? Bullet found near the victim's oxygen tank. It's probably this one, right? Because if Arm shot at Cosmos... And this would be the bullet. Yeah, the bullet from Arm's gun. This is it.
Take that!
Nice. .38 caliber bullet found on the floor of the scene didn't hit the oxygen tank. It hit Director Cosmos' metal. If we had that ricochet mark on the metal analyzed, I'm sure the caliber will match up. And if that mark proves to be from a .38 caliber bullet, prove that you are the third person we've been looking for. Ah! The bridge is destroyed! Losing altitude! All hands abandon ship! In! Look at him go. I could watch this for hours. Okay, that's enough. That's true. Then what about the bullet that hit the oxygen tank? It was the .10 caliber bullet. In other words, it was the bullet fired by Yuri Cosmos. Isn't that right, Director? Oh, you've got it all wrong. What? The engines have started again? It's a miracle. I'm not going down yet. Oh boy, what does he have now? Witness, stop this at once and confess the truth. We are not playing your sci-fi tabletop RPG for the last time. Your homebrew rules suck, Cosmos. They suck. If you don't want the history books to say that a great man was a great liar, then accept your fate and tell the truth. Are you giving me orders? Me, the great director of the Cosmos Space Center? Yeah. Oh, but the cosmos revolves around me. He's spinning. He keeps on spinning. Ah, someone get me off this thing. Look at him go. Order in the court. And will someone please stop the witness from spinning? Is that it? It's over? Ooh, thank goodness we were able to stop him from spinning off the face of the earth. While he was toiling, I took the liberty of running an analysis on the mark on the metal. That was fast. It was made by a .38 caliber bullet, matching it with the size of Detective Arm's firearm. Are you ready to confess the truth, witness? No, you've got it all wrong. This is just a misunderstanding. Is he going to start piling on more lies? Looks like it. No matter how many lies he tells, I'll just expose them one by one. I'll make that big liar tell the truth. To be continued. Wow, that was fast. Don't tell me there's another investigation phase. Holy shit, this turnabout has taken quite some time, huh? Okay, back in the court. Thank goodness. Dr. Cosmos, a new possibility has been presented by the defense. They are claiming that you were this third person. Forgive me. I'm so sorry. So, the great pioneer of space development is revealed to be just another fabulous cur. I only have one question for the likes of you. Shall I send you off quickly, or very quickly? What a dude. We're just ganging up on him at this point. The evidence doesn't lie, Director Cosmos, so don't try to talk your way out of this. Fine, I'll tell the truth. It's all just as you say, Mr. Wright. It's true that I was there in the boarding lounge. I got there before Detective Arm. When she arrived, she fired warning shots at me. I was afraid people would mistake me for the killer, so I escaped to the control room. And then I went past the elevators and all the way around to Boarding Lounge 1 again. He did the whole runaround. Of course. I came up behind Detective Arm and pretended to be the second on the scene. What a troublesome man you are, with such convoluted deeds and thoughts. What a story. I see. So then, are you still insisting that you did not kill the victim? Oh, of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, I saw the true killer. The great Yuri Cosmos was a history-making witness.
Hold it!
Now hold on just one moment. We just proved a few minutes ago that the third person that Mr. Starbuck and Miss Aura Blackwell saw was you. No, it wasn't me. I saw the person as well. If I were the killer, why would I lie to cover for Starbuck? I would just leave him to take the fall.
That is an excellent point.
All I wanted to do was to protect Starbuck. I said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for a third person.
Well, it makes sense if you told some lies to cover for Starbuck.
Still, a lie's a lie, Athena.
So, Director Cosmos claims he's not the culprit, but where's the proof?
Ah, just remembered. I have an alibi. Miss Blackwell said that she saw a killer at 10 a.m., right?
Yes, and?
Well, I was on the 4th floor helping with the evacuation effort. Ask any member of the staff you'd like. They'll corroborate me.
Really?
The director is not fibbing to the court for once. I confirm that he has an alibi for the time specified.
Wow. So you're claiming that Miss Blackwell saw the killer commit the crime first at 10 a.m. And that you arrived at the lounge after that?
Yes, and I believe the person I saw is the same person that Miss Blackwell saw. Although, it was pitch black, so it was more of a shadowy figure and less of a person. And I couldn't actually see their face, but it was definitely the silhouette of an Earthling.
As opposed to a non-Earthling? Well, as long as he has an alibi. We can't very well claim Director Cosmos was the killer.
No, we can't.
Then again, maybe we don't need to yet. I wonder if he was really covering for Mr. Starbuck.
Your Honor,
the defense moves to have the director testify about the person he saw.
Very well. Dr. Cosmos, your testimony, please.
The person you saw. What I really witnessed, for real this time,
As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me. I hid to avoid getting shot, but when I tried to get another look, it vanished through the thin air. I was near the elevator's side door, well, the launchpad 1 door. The control room door should have been shut tight to the killer.
So you were shot at by the killer as well? And then they disappeared?
Yes. Luckily, no harm came to my glorious body.
Your body's glorious?
I don't know about that. Fortunately, the bullet hit Terran's oxygen tank. I know because I heard a pang. That must have been the sound of the tank being ruptured.
Wait, but I thought the bullet hit his metal. That was Detective Arm's bullet, remember? Right. What a mess this is turning into. So, let's see. Director Cosmos is claiming that when he found Mr. Terran and his killer, Hugh, the culprit shot a .10 caliber bullet at him. Right, but it actually hit Mr. Terran's oxygen tank and ruptured it. Really? Terran couldn't get it? Terran just got in the way? How the hell would you hit his tank from there? Then the killer disappeared, and the director went into the boarding lounge. But Detective Arm caught up and fired those warning shots at him. Judging by his medal, it looks like one of them almost took him out, too. In summary, but that doesn't explain where our mystery killer went. I mean, there's only one way out that's accessible to someone who's not the, what's it called? The director. Oops. Skip that. Director Cosmos, I was wondering if you could elaborate on when the figure disappeared. I'm ashamed to admit I tried to hide myself when I was shot at, but... Let's see. This door. Starbucks prints were found in this door lock. Also see photo taken after the incident. Only the prints of Director Cosmos, Starbuck, and Terran are authorized. Oh, so this way. Starbuck is the only one who could have escaped, according to Cosmos' story. And his prints were there. This isn't good. When I peeped back into the lounge, the real killer was gone. I rushed into the lounge straight away to investigate. What I found was Terran with a knife in his chest, and Starbuck out cold on the floor. So we have a culprit who vanished from the scene that had no escape route. Vanished without a trace. It's truly like one of the great mysteries of the cosmos.
Silence.
A riddle of the ages indeed. But I'd rather know. What fibbing leech such as you can be lauded as great? A great man is always misunderstood in his own time. But he must remain true to himself, even if those around him don't understand. Well, that may be the first true statement he said all day. How do you suppose this person managed to vanish so quickly? Simple, because it was Spaceboy himself. When he was spotted by the director and Aura, he quickly feigned unconsciousness. That would certainly take all the mystery out of the idea of a vanishing culprit. I want to raise an objection, but I don't have any counter-evidence. Right. Starbuck was actually unconscious at the time, and Terran was dragging him along. I see. I'm remembering now. Dr. Cosmos, when you saw this person, did you also see Mr. Starbuck on the floor? No, because it was as dark as a black hole in there. I didn't see Starbuck until the other person vanished and I entered the room. That wasn't exactly helpful. I'm prepared to accept your surrender, Wright, Dono. Can't find any holes in this testimony, but I can't give up. Mr. Wright, why don't you let me help? Huh? While the director was giving his testimony, I detected a cacophony of discord. Which means he's hiding his true feelings from us, huh? This might help us find out what happened to our vanished killer. That'd be great, Athena. Let's see what you can do with him. You got it, boss. I wouldn't want to miss this chance to delve into a great mind. Yuri Cosmos, prepare to hand over the secrets of your heart to me. You can have my heart, Athena. Alright, what do we got? Oh boy, I sure love these mood matrix thingies. As I try to enter the lounge. Oh. True killer. Inside fired a gun at me. Okay, yeah, it makes sense he's angry, you know. If someone tried to shoot at me, I'd be angry too. Surprised. And sad / distressed. Yeah, that makes sense. I had to avoid the getting shot. Oh, takes cover with his... Look at that maneuver. On his little scooter. Incredible. When I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. Wait, why is there no emotion at all here? That's odd. I was near the elevator side door. Well, the launch pad one door. The control room door should have been shut tight to the killer. Why are you sad here? Huh?
It's weird, huh? Hmm. When I tried to get into the book, Launchpad 1 door. That one stuck out like a sore thumb. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be afraid of the Launchpad door. Great Yuri Cosmos? Afraid? And what basis do you have for that outlandish accusation? Whether I have any basis or not, you seem quite distressed by it. I don't need a basis. The source is me. I most certainly not. Director Cosmos? There's something about the Launchpad door you're not telling us, is there? No. Spin. Wow, he's speechless. Looks like you hit the nail on the head, boss. It's working, boss. One more punch and it'll be a knockout. There seems to be one more emotion that's at odds with this testimony. Go get him. Okay, back in the Matrix it is. Time to pinpoint our way to victory. The elevator side door. Well, the Launchpad 1 door. Eh? Nothing changed. So I need to find one more. I think it's probably this one, right? It's the lack of emotion that caught my attention here. But which one do I choose? What's the unexpected emotion? It's... Well, if you see someone and they vanish into thin air, normally you'd be surprised, I guess? And he's not surprised, so... I'm a mood matrix master. What can I say? You must have thought it was very strange that the killer vanished into thin air. I did. That kind of thing just doesn't happen usually. And yet, at that time, you barely registered any shock at the occurrence. What? Why are you... I can only think of one reason as to why you weren't surprised with the killer's vanishing act. You must have had a good idea of where they went, isn't that right? What? No, of course not. That's preposterous. Only I can enter the control room. And the area beyond the launchpad door was filled with smoke, making it impassable. As with the southern door. I was standing right there. So there was nowhere for the killer to run to. Maybe, or maybe not. You went into the room to check on Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Tarrant, right? What if the culprit took the opportunity to silently slip out through the southern door? I hardly doubt it. As you recall, right after I entered the lounge, Detective Arm came rushing towards it herself via the southern hallway. Anyone trying to escape through there would have been caught by her. Yet the director wasn't surprised that the killer vanished. So you're absolutely sure that there was no escape route for the culprit to use? So how did they leave? I'll just input those two pieces of data and... yeah, just what I wanted to see. 70, huh? Presto changeo. Less discord.
Looks like we're on the right track.
Thanks, Athena. Now to make sense of what we've learned. Director Cosmos wasn't surprised that the culprit suddenly vanished from the lounge. It points to the possibility that he knew where the killer had escaped to. Furthermore, talking about the door to the launch pad made him feel uneasy. In other words, he's probably hiding something about that Launchpad 1 door. When we put these two pieces together, only one solution to this puzzle comes to mind. Oh, Director Cosmos. Did the real killer escape through here? I mean, it had to be here, yeah?
Take that!
The culprit went through the Launchpad 1 door to escape, didn't they? Yes. I mean, no. Disaster to starboard! We're gonna crash it into an asteroid! A master tactician, you are not.
But the area beyond that door was filled with smoke, wasn't it? True, but this is still the only logical answer there is. If we can just figure out what the director is hiding about the Launchpad 1 door, we should be able to iron out the logical inconsistencies. So, I guess he's trying to hide something that allows him to bypass the smoke?
Yeah, but that door requires fingerprint recognition. Only Starbuck, Terran, and I have access. I don't see how the killer could have opened that security lock, do you?
That's an easy one. The killer was right there in the boarding lounge, meaning there's a way he could have easily gotten past that security lock. Come to think of it, we did examine the fingerprints on the... Oh! Starbuck was unconscious. One could just, like, pick up his body and just slap his hand on there, right? Starbuck's hand was on this, right? Yeah. Genius. I propose that the killer used this person's fingerprints to get past the security lock. Yes, sir. Where are you?
Take that!
That's...
Mr. Starbuck was lying unconscious there in the boarding lounge. Anybody could have easily gotten past that security lock using Mr. Starbuck's prints. And actually, Mr. Starbuck's prints are exactly what we found on the device's screen.
No!
Spin some more, why don't you? Looks like he does have something to hide about Launchpad 1 door. And I'm betting it's got something to do with the culprit's escape route. I don't have enough information to see the whole picture yet.
No, something just occurred to me. Would you like to hear it? Wait, Judge has an original idea?
This is a new one, huh? Oh, yes, by all means. Is this what we call character development?
There's a security camera in boarding lounge 1.
Right, the one that recorded the victim and the defendant. What about it, Your Honor?
If the true culprit escaped into the Launchpad 1 corridor, that might have been recorded on the security footage as well. Then the mystery would be solved. What do you think of my logic?
Is everyone slowly realizing that he's right?
I hope you didn't strain your faculties too much without your boldness. I beg your pardon? Look, if we play the security footage beyond this point... Oh. Oh my. The footage cuts off.
Oh. Judge almost had his moment. It's okay there, buddy. You'll have your time to shine.
The camera was running on backup power, but apparently the power cables were damaged. Most likely by the after effects of the explosion. There is no footage after this. Be it of criminals or space aliens. And I thought it was such a good idea too. Just because your grandchild is watching for the gallery, it doesn't mean you should try to show off too much. Grandpa boldness. Prosecutor Blackwell, how did you know about my grandchild?
I think his grandchild just learned a little about the harshness of the adult world.
Poor kid. Poor judge.
Setting aside the issue of grandchildren, I'd like to have the witness continue. Director Cosmos, could you tell us more about when you entered the lounge?
If I must.
And to avoid getting shot. After the killer vanished, I went into the lounge. That's when Detective Arm appeared from the elevator side door. And then, the detective shot at me. So you see, the killer could have only escaped the launch pad, right? What do you think about Director Cosmos' emotional responses, Athena? Actually, my cat is really sick, you know? What? Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. And on top of that, my dog just doesn't seem to want to play with me. Why are you telling me all this now? Just hear me out, okay? Now, when you heard about my cat, and then about my dog, which story made you feel sadder? The story about your cat, of course, is only natural. Exactly. That would be the natural reaction. There's nothing natural about the director's reactions. I think how each individual reaction changes across the whole testimony would be key. Sounds unnaturally complicated, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Okay. He is in fear of getting shot. Makes sense. The killer vanished. I went into the lounge. Does that kind of make sense? He's surprised that Detective Arm appeared. Angry, surprised, and fear when you get shot at. That makes sense. There's nothing over there. It's probably these two then, right? Went to the lounge. Maybe this one kind of makes sense, right? Because you can go to the lounge out of fear. That only leaves this process of elimination. I guess in some way this doesn't make sense, right? Because wasn't he expecting Arm to come with him? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Probably need some more water. Give me a sec. Alright. Director Cosmos? Why were you so surprised when Detective Arm found you? And again when she fired? Isn't that a bit unnatural? I don't know. I'd be surprised when someone would fire at me, but that first reaction is a bit unnatural. Sadly, even great men such as myself have ordinary human feelings. Our bodies are bound by the forces of gravity and emotions. Oops. Even a great man such as myself experiences surprise on occasions. Yes, I'm sure you do. But my real point is not the fact that you were surprised, but rather what you were surprised by.
Pardon me?
First, you were surprised when Detective Arm found you in the lounge. And just after that, you were, of course, again surprised when she shot at you. But considering what you were surprised about, a strange phenomenon occurs here. Director Cosmos, what is strange about your surprised reaction is the fact that you were more surprised when Arm came than when she shot. Sure, you were surprised when Detective Arm shot at you. The surprise you felt when she found you at the lounge was much greater. Yeah, that is odd.
Yeah.
The fact that you were more surprised by simply being found than being shot at suggests to me that you were conflicted about whether it was you. Whatever it was you. What? Suggests to me that you were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there. Okay. Sentences. English.
The enemy has acquired a new weapon. Commence operation. Hide under your desk.
What a dweeb. I'm gonna shove this old man in a walker. Please tell me I finally sunk his battleship. 30%. Oh, there's still more. Boss, I'm getting less Discord now. That must mean he really is hiding something about that launchpad door. Whatever he's hiding most likely has something to do with the killer's escape. I wonder what it could be. If he was doing something suspicious around that door, maybe we can go spot some change between when he came to the door and after. Detective Fulbright gave us a photo taken after the crime. Let's run a comparison. Let's see. This is footage of the door before Director Cosmos entered. This is how the door looked after the director entered the lounge. Before and after. Hey, look at that! There is a change. Something's definitely different. Director Cosmos?
What is it? What have you two been up to over there?
Finding the answer to what you were doing when Detective Arm found you, that's what. And the answer lies clearly in this footage.
Compare it. Don't be ridiculous. If you really do have an answer, you should have pointed it out already.
This is what changed directly after the incident. I guess the light on fingerprint reader is on in the second photo, right? Oh, there's a thing there. There's like a horizontal, like, what do you call it? Dial? Yeah, there's a dial. It's vertical in the second picture. Yeah, there we go. It's right there. The answer is this knob.
That's...
Your Honor, please take a look at this footage. Let's see. Take a look at the knob next to the launchpad door. As you can see, it's horizontal.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
However, when we investigated the scene of the crime yesterday, the knob was vertical.
What does this mean?
It means that someone before the director arrived and after, someone turned this knob. After the scene was discovered, you were the only one who could have turned the knob. Come on now, Director Cosmos. Let's hear what you have to say. What were you trying to do by turning that knob by the door? Oh, fine, I admit it. You're right, I did turn that knob. That knob was a safety lock meant to keep the launch pad in place. In place? I was afraid there would be more explosions. So I wanted to move the launch pad away. You wanted to do what? Hey, didn't Punko tell us something about how they prepare for launch? It said that once the launch pad's fully assembled, it's moved to the launch site. Oh. The safety lock in the boarding lounge has to be disengaged first. I guess that clears up what that knob is for. Interesting. Oh, so the killer escaped into the launch pad 1 corridor. Maybe they were transported along with the launch pad to the launch site. Oh, that's how he got into the control room. Holy shit. I don't think so. The launch pad 1 corridor was filled with smoke. I don't think they could have escaped through that corridor. So then, where did the killer escape to? Good question. I guess there are still some things we have to uncover. Director Cosmos, I request that you tell us about moving the launch pad in more detail. So thirsty tonight. In the drink water kind of way, not the other way. Get your minds at the gutters, you guys. Fine, but listen carefully, for I'm about to give history-making testimony. Alright. I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. Why are you happy? I fear there might be more explosions. To cut the launch pad loose. Surely the only escape the killer had was through launch pad 1. Why are you mad? Why are you mad, bro? There was a sea of smoke. Found it. Where on earth could they have gone? The director seems driven into a corner now. I can tell he's having a hard time hiding his true feelings. Just one final push then. His attempts to conceal the truth shouldn't be all that hard for us to break through. Look at it calmly. I'm sure we'll cross the finish line. Okay, for sure this one is wrong, right? I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. You made it sound like you were reluctant to do so. And yet, when you did it, you felt some joy, as if you were very pleased with yourself. Yeah, how do you do it? How do you know everything as if you were there? Pretty impressive, isn't it? This is the power of analytical psychology. So, care to explain why you felt joy when you disengaged the safety lock? You know, he's just a really big fan of safety locks. You know, when he turns that knob, that's his only source of serotonin for the day. Turning knobs. When I think back on the facts that we've discovered up to this point, I have to believe that you are trying to fulfill some hidden agenda. Paul's bracelets made more sense? Oh, than the whole analytical psychology thing? Honestly, yeah. I think gameplay-wise, it's a pretty interesting mechanic, but I don't know. It was just kind of silly. It's like, oh yes, I will use my little device to analyze your mood. It's basically a glorified mood ring. It's like, oh yes, it is now red. That means you are angry. Ah, how do you know all about that too? Because I'm more or less a pro. Guessing. But you have no proof that I had a hidden agenda. And even if I did, I would never, ever tell you. So there. I know they say people regress as they grow older, but you, sir, take the cake. And how can you doubt a man with such great intensity, intelligence, and integrity? Oh,
Silence.
tiny burp came out. Oh. Excuse me. You, a man of integrity. Don't make me laugh. Prosecutor Blackwell. What came over him all of a sudden? Prosecutor Blackwell, more like Prosecutor Broquill. You spouted nothing but falsity since you stepped up to the stand. It's not a burn, that was a compliment. He's my bro. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Or I guess maybe that was the burn for Cosmos. Not for greatness, anyway, unless you consider greatest barefaced liar in honor. Liar! His words bite harder than his blade. You moved Launchpad 1 after the explosions? My, how naive you are. You fail to realize how even the facts themselves betrayed you. You know, just a thought, but modern English can be your friend. And here's a thought for you, immediately following the bombing. Launchpad 1 was on the boarding lounge one side. The police confirmed this on scene. Yeah, Phoenix just straight up telling him, like, dude, just speak English, please. You weeb. You chuny. So that means the director didn't move the launch pad? Is there a way for it to be moved back? Oh, for sure. He would not survive. Curse my judgment for calling history's greatest liar to the witness stand. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games to his heart's content. Liar!
Objection!
He's still spinning. But it doesn't make sense. You can't deny that someone turned that knob. And once the safety lock was released, I'm sure the pad must have went somewhere. If we chase down the truth of this issue, we just might find where the killer escaped to. Yeah. Oh shit. He's gonna cut his head off. Sure, it must have went somewhere. We just might find out. Your arguments are nothing but conjecture, bluffing, and wishful thinking. Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is. Or are you not man enough to, boy? Ah! Talk about hitting below the belt. Not you too, Athena. Youngins these days. Who's older? You're right. Phoenix is basically an old man at this point. He's literally a DILF.
Although, kind of hard to imagine. I mean, 28? Where's Nick's profile? Nick, where are you? Not here. Nick's probably like 35 or something, right? He's calling me boy. The knob was definitely turned after he came to the lounge. The launch pad is right where it's supposed to be. Ah. Yeah, the darn kids. This damn whippersnapper. Oh, what if? What if it had something to do with the Space Museum, right? Because isn't the Space Museum some kind of identical copy of a launch pad? Wait a minute, maybe I have it all backwards. What if the director turned the knob not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back to where it was supposed to be? What are you blathering about? What if the launch pad was at the launch site before the incident? Oh. Okay, so it probably has nothing to do with the Space Museum. Yeah, the launch site is like all the way over there. And then after the incident, Director Cosmos moved it back to its usual spot. All he had to do was turn the knob to cut the launch pad back. And it would be right where the police found it. No! My Hoge! Oh, it's back. Oh, he sighed like Mr. Starbuck? Okay, What I said really that off base? It pains me to have to explain how wrong your own logic is to you, but however, our great liar turned the knob only after he discovered the crime scene. Indeed, the pad existed beyond the lounge when our Astro Wonders made their escape. A fact that has been recorded for posterior on filmless film. Oh, right. No, I think Phoenix is up to something. You know, something is cooking. What is Phoenix cooking? I have no idea. So, to reiterate, stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is, boy. Look, you don't have to repeat yourself. Don't call me boy. Get a grip, Mr. Wright, and focus. We know the launchpad must have been moved. I think, yeah, Wright was definitely onto something when he said it was being moved to where it originally was. So, oh, why? Their deductions and the actual facts of the case are in direct contradiction to each other. Well, maybe the two astronauts never actually boarded the rocket. This footage could be fake, taken with body doubles after the incident or something. There's no way. Oh, on second thought, that's too far-fetched even for me. Never actually boarded the rocket. Maybe, just maybe, huh? What are you cooking, Phoenix? Prosecutor Blackwell, what if I told you that the two astronauts never set foot inside the launchpad area, but instead went into another place? The museum. I was cooking something when I was mentioning the museum. And what if when the director moved the Launchpad 1 back, it was not from the launch site, but from another place? What would you say then? Cut the existential bull or I'll cut you. It's right, you will explain yourself at once. I know I'm right. I was all the other way around. Oh, it was all the other way around. What? It was all the other way around from the beginning. Holy shit, third try is the charm. Very well, Your Honor. Let me explain. Director Cosmos' reason for moving Launchpad 1 was
trap the true killer? No, to switch it with another place. The museum. Because he wanted to switch it with some other place. I'm sorry, but did you say switch it? What could he possibly have switched the launch pad with? I wonder. Perhaps the near identical building on the other side of the complex. Yep. Oh, you'd be surprised, Your Honor. All it takes is a little thinking outside the box, and the answer becomes clear as day. This is what was switched with Launchpad 1.
Take that!
The museum. Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. So that would mean Terran and Starbuck were in the museum when they tried to launch their rocket. It has all the same features as Launchpad 1. It can be even be moved to the launch site, meaning the Space Museum and Launchpad 1 can also be switched with each other. You can't mean. The rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. It was the one in the Space Museum. Oh, how could they not notice? It's like, you know, these little alien decorations lying around. I don't remember them being here. Tell me they never noticed? That's kind of insane. I mean, I guess if the walkways are completely, you know, completely solid, you can't really see through them. All closed off. I would get it. Yeah, it makes sense. If you assume that they couldn't see outside. What? Stop trying to find logic in this game. I'm trying. I can't help myself. I'm trying to give this game credit where it's due. And yet, it's the only explanation that accounts for every riddle and inconsistency. He saw the Space Center was just before the incident. I see Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already switched places. That's right, but the two switched like this. The astronauts entered the Space Museum from boarding lounge 1. So the true killers enter Launchpad 1 from boarding lounge 2. The bomb on the rocket. The bomb being on the Space Museum's rocket? No, on the rocket in Launchpad 1? I think of it, the doors to the Space Museum from boarding lounge 2. Welcome, welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 AM to 7 PM. Exactly, anyone can pass through the door to the Space Museum. There's no fingerprint recognition system on that door. In other words, with the two launch pads switched like that, someone other than Mr. Starbuck could have easily planted that bomb. Ah! After setting the bomb on the rocket, the culprit snuck into boarding lounge 1 and waited there. Sealed. In order to kill Mr. Terran when the two astronauts emerged from the Space Museum. Call that Miss Blackwell, Mr. Starbuck, and the director all saw a suspicious figure. Who we can suppose after killing Mr. Terran made their escape into the Space Museum. That Director Cosmos switched the two launch pads back. Without realizing the killer was inside the Space Museum. Let's go all the way around. The killer then left the Space Museum and made a clean getaway. No! Right, Dono. I see you know how to handle a sword and handle it well. You know, this sentence can be interpreted in many ways. Blackwell. Phrasing. Perhaps I should call you Swordmaster Bluff. I'm a seasoned warrior who has cut down many a prosecutor.
Silence.
Unless you can prove your theory, it's no better than a rusty sword. All this sword talk. So many innuendos. That's right, you have no proof I switched the launch pads. Somebody needs a better anger management counselor. If the launch pads really were switched, then there might be a record of it somewhere. Record of it? At this point, Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched with each other. Ugh. So the corridor beyond the door should be the one that belongs to the Space Museum. Let's see, this is an image of the Launchpad 1 corridor. You see anything different when compared to the security footage? It's what the translators are having fun with this? Even in space, safety first. Yeah, the localization is pretty, it's pretty good. Ace Attorney localization is always top tier. Huh? That number on the floor. It says 1. Oh, what do you know? It looks like we have proof after all, Prosecutor Blackwell. And this is just another bluff. Oh, don't worry, it's all right here. Right in this footage. Proof that beyond this door is the corridor to the Space Museum. Well then, answer this for me if you would. What? Okay. It's the 2 in the back.
Take that!
There's a 1 on the floor of the Launchpad 1 corridor. Take a look at the floor of the corridor on the security footage. You see the number on the floor behind the astronauts? Doesn't look like a 1, does it? That's because what you see is actually part of a 2. What? Why is it a 2 and not a 1? And that's because the corridor you see is the one to the Space Museum. Ooh, critical hit. So that means the corridor in this footage was not filled with smoke. That's right, because the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. So I was wondering, like didn't Terra and Starbuck get caught in an explosion? No, I guess not. The explosion occurred in Launchpad 1, on the side opposite the Space Museum. And now that we know the 2 astronauts escaped from the Space Museum, the mystery from the previous trial of how they got down the ladder is cleared up. Mr. Terran actually carried Mr. Starbuck, simply took the elevator from the upper level down to the middle level. It's incredible. The 2 launch pads were actually switched. You'd think someone would have noticed it on an event of this magnitude. Everyone was down in the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped back. There's no way anyone could have known what was happening on the surface. Oh, nice. Cameras. For real. This would all be solved if we just had better cameras. If those damn camera batteries didn't cut out. Or the power lines, rather. Bye-bye. No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time. You told us the truth. Ah! My honor, my glory,
Everything is slipping away. Time to deploy my ultimate weapon. Galactic engine, ignition. What? It's gone haywire. It won't stop. Oh, all the stars are... My stars, my glory. Yeah. Oh, he's starless. Oh, that went away. What the fuck? But bailiff, on your steed, and after that witness, on your steed. Mount your steed, bailiff. We ride. Yeah, it is fancy wood. Oh wow, they fixed it already. Look at that. I see we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm. Director Cosmos, do you admit you switched launch pads? I admit it's true. Damn, he looks like he's seen better days. He's all wilted. They just replaced the doors in the blink of an eye. I still don't get his motive, though. What the hell does Cosmos want to do with Yuri's, like... Oh, no, not Yuri, Terran. Yeah, what the hell did Terran do to Cosmos? I switched Launchpad 1 for the Space Museum. Ah. It is good to hear words I can believe for a change. Before you do, Your Honor, two things. First, we don't know if Mr. Terran had prior knowledge of the switch. As for Mr. Starbuck, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Ah, it's the drugs. Become more famous? What does killing Terran have to do with becoming more famous? He also bombed the place. Either way, Mr. Terran would have realized the instant he stepped into the Space Museum. That it had been switched with Launchpad 1. Got jealous that Terran would get more famous? What a petty reason. Wow. If that's the truth, Cosmos is quite the bastard. Oh, it's not the reason. Okay. So my first question is, if the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Terran feel the need to put on such a dramatic display? As for my second question, yeah, that's true. So the Space Museum was totally fine, no bombs. So why was he like carrying his dude like that? Starbuck apparently couldn't notice things because of anti-anxiety meds. I don't believe that, but okay, game. Terran would have realized. Okay, I also agree with that. You would realize if you stepped into a museum. I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the two launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. I will say, my hands were tied. His hands were tied? I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast. Oh, right. What do you mean, right? What? He didn't set up the bombs? The director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason for not wanting to explain why. Guess someone blackmailed him. Someone blackmailed him. Threatened to bomb the Space Center. Cosmos felt threatened. And since he wanted to protect his men, he switched the museum and the launch pad. Okay, then... And who killed Terran? I still don't see the motive for Cosmos to kill Terran. Because all we've proven so far is that Cosmos switched the rooms, not that he actually killed Taryn. Probably not a good idea. A good time to try to pry it out of him, huh? Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing. If you're nothing without your badge of rank, you don't deserve it. You got him on back. It appears the possibility of a culprit other than the defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbuck, is there anything you wish to say? I don't get it. Don't get it? What don't you get? Director, why did you do all that? From the very beginning, you never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us. Mr. Starbuck. Starbuck, my boy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you the reason why, but I had to do it to protect the Space Center. Director, will I ever get the chance to go into space again? Yeah, there's a severe lack of Aura Black Quill in this turnabout. I want to get to know Black Quill's hot sister more. Come on. I will get you into space again, my boy. And the dream is still alive.
Silence.
What a party pooper. You're not going to space, Starbuck, but prison. I won't have it any other way. Why are you so hung up on him? Yes, I accept that the launch pods really were switched. And if there were a third person at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. But I've yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum. Oh, that's a good point. Ah, he's right. I don't have any proof. Starbuck, you will spill everything you know. What? Me? Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now. If you don't, my blade shall feast on your blood. I'm going to die. I want to die in space. I have to do something before Starbuck chokes on himself. Solomon Starbuck, prepare yourself. Ah! Ha ha ha. Now, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackquill. Oh boy, it's his retainer. That annoyingly cheerful laugh. Can be none other than this goober. Champion of righteousness, Bobby Fulbright. Here, in justice we trust. Detective Fulbright. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late. I don't believe we've had an appointment. I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street. And then I had to break up a cat fight. I tell you, just as sure as a full-time job. Was it a fight between cats, or... Why are you here again? Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Fulbright. I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. A bit. Have you finally succumbed? Nope, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment. What evidence? Come to think of it, he did say something about finding us some evidence. Oh yeah. Thanks you too, I feel a lot better now that I've been able to get that off my chest.
I'm going to work extra hard to find the perfect piece of evidence for you. Same, Zaya. Same. I didn't think he was serious, though. Fulbright is... He's literally just All Might at home. What is it, Detective? Is it something that will prove Mr. Starbuck innocent? It is indeed. Have a look at this. What is this? What is this? A lighter? That's right. A lighter. Thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. It has the victim Clay Terran's blood, along with his killer's fingerprints on it. What? Yeah. Order! Detective Fulbright, can I assume that the fingerprints don't belong to the defendant? You bet. Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent. This is it. This is just what I needed. Really? How are we going to use this, though? Your Honor? This is decisive evidence that supports the defense's earlier claim. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. With pleasure, Your Honor. Recall where this lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate that after the killer murdered Mr. Terran, they escaped with the lighter in hand to the Space Museum, where they dropped it. Switching of the two launch pads occurred. Aha. And finally, the killer left to boarding lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbuck was found in boarding lounge 1 after the murder. A fact that Director Cosmos has testified to. Therefore, Mr. Starbuck couldn't have possibly been the one who dropped the lighter there.
Silence.
Ah, but the defendant had free reign of the area until Director Cosmos appeared. Could he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during that span of time? You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? But Director Cosmos testified that right after he saw the mysterious figure with a lighter, he went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. He went into that lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. In other words, Mr. Starbuck wouldn't have the time to double back on the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, this lighter could only have been dropped by the real killer. Are we going to analyze the prints or not? More importantly, Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints were nowhere near to be found on this register. I think you understand what this means, don't you? This piece of evidence unequivocally proves that Mr. Starbuck wasn't Fulbright. Ugh. This does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defense's claims. That's with the remote switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket. We can assume it was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. How much longer is this going to go on? Feels like forever. No. There must be some mistake.
Frankly, Prosecutor Blackwell, I've been worried about you. Aw. You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. I understand your urgency because tomorrow...
Silence.
Fulbright, you promised never to speak of that. Huh? Tomorrow? What about tomorrow? What is tomorrow? Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent, in light of the fact that it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. You unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. But for now, this court finds the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, not guilty. Yay, confetti! Holy shit, that took forever! Oh, that was quite the doozy.
Yes, we did it, Mr. Wright.
Looks like we pulled it off somehow, huh? Somehow from Detective Fulbright. The one time he's helpful. Mr. Wright, Miss Psyches, thank you. Please thank Apollo for me, too. You all are the best.
Oh, I wish we could tell Apollo about Mr. Starbuck's verdict right now.
Yeah, me too. That's gonna have to wait. Now that the verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Objection.
What? Huh? Someone pick up... Someone take the confetti. Take it out. Take it out. We're not done yet. Fucking encore. Why, Blackwell? Why? It's too late to object, isn't it? It simply isn't possible. Something's wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell? Are you dissatisfied with the verdict? Fulbright, what were the results of the fingerprint analysis with the lighter? Huh? The results? Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Well, I was in a hurry, you see, and then there was that cat fight, and, well... Oh my god, he's doing the fucking... Doing the fucking... finger thing. I kind of got carried away when I heard the prints were at Mr. Starbucks, so... You've yet to read it? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you read out who those prints belong to? Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were found to belong to Athena Psyches. What the fuck? So says the report. What? Huh? Me? Uh-oh. Order, I say, order! This is new music. Miss Psyches, tell me you have an explanation for this. We just finished proving that this lighter could only belong to the killer. So finding your prints on it can only lead us somewhat to one grave conclusion.
I don't know how they got on there, but I know I'm not the culprit.
This can't be happening. Look, Phoenix, this isn't new to you. This isn't the first time your assistant got accused for murder. Maya gave you lots of practice rounds for this. We built up our argument piece by piece. I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty. So how could it have led to this? There's Athena's prints on it in the victim's blood. Ah, what have I done? Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, stop your crying. What in the world is happening here? The world's gone mad. Order! Order! I will have order! Confusion spiraled into utter chaos. For all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Looks like we're not done with this case just yet. Ugh. Somehow, somewhere, everything had gone terribly wrong. So Cosmos isn't the main villain. Who is? Don't tell me it's Aura Blackwell. If evil, why hot? We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of a twisted darkness. Wow. I didn't expect this. Ending on a cliffhanger. Turnabout for tomorrow. Now, I know this one is the last one for the main game, and then I know there's like a DLC case after this, so we're almost done, guys. We're almost there. Last stretch. Let's save here. Alright, before we end the stream for tonight, because this is, it's always a good idea to stop at these little, in-betweens. I want to watch the intro cutscene, though. Give it to me. No one can escape their past. Ooh. Athena. Oh god. Katana. Sins we've committed, and the sadness we've caused. No matter how far we run, our past remains, as ever present as the moon in the sky. God, the emulation is acting up a bit here. Yo, what's up, Punished Apollo? Finally coming back? And Citra does not like this cutscene. It looms in wait for the day when we are forced to face it. But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards tomorrow. Turnabout for tomorrow. Done, done. December 20th, 1:23 p.m., Wright Anything Agency. We took Athena from the courtroom, straight to the station. She's probably being questioned. At this very moment. Yeah, that last the intro cutscene was pretty self-serious. I don't know. Like, I'm down for the game to, like, take this kind of direction, but kind of the silliness of this game kind of how should I say this? Kind of takes away from their efforts to make it all serious. It's like, oh, this is the dark age of the law. And it's like, okay, what does that even mean?
After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now, Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena becoming the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. Oh, Trucy. I missed you, Trucy. It's even quieter in here than usual. Yeah, it seems so empty too. Yeah, third game was good at being serious. I just don't get it, Daddy. All of your reasoning during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Yeah, I still believe it was. At least, based on what we know. But now, Athena is the one who's being accused. The truth is, I'm playing until we get background music so that when I end the stream, it isn't just in silence, but I don't know, the game kind of doesn't want to give me music right now. During the trial for the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center, the lighter used by the real culprit was found. The game stays silent until the end. Yeah, you know what? No more music, the game. It's like, fuck it. We go in silent movie on this bitch. It's like, oh, you want us to take us seriously? You want serious? No music. The lighter proved the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, innocent. But Athena's prints were found on it instead. This case seems like it'll be good. Get some Athena lore, we get some Black Quill lore. She was subsequently arrested for the murder. But Athena couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I just can't figure it out. Where's the flaw in my reasoning? What have I got wrong in this case? You know, Daddy, if Athena was here, she wouldn't just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there doing something. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy? Of course I will. Thanks, Trucy. I needed that push. Trucy's right. The trial's tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm going to prove Athena's innocence, I'd better get out there and find some evidence. Off we go then. We're going to hunt for evidence that'll prove Athena's innocence. Great, but before we go, I'd better tidy up the evidence I have on hand. Unnecessary evidence left at the office. Athena's probably still in the middle of being questioned. There's the music that I'm looking for. So Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center. Hey, we got Trucy back as an assistant. Hell yeah. I missed her. This game like totally sidelined Trucy. You know, when you have 3 lawyers, I guess there's not much room for Trucy to be present, but woohoo. Trucy Wright. Alright, well, with that, I think it's a perfect time to end it. Here, I'll savor this one. Very good. Alright. Very productive stream, I'd say. Managed to stay mostly conscious, mostly cognizant. Got this one. Finally got over it. Now we're at the last push. The last episode. Assuming that I don't do the DLC. I'll probably do the DLC. There's so much DLC. For other games I have to play too. Last long push, yeah. The last cases are always the longest, huh? Well, I do look forward to this one. The last ones are always juicy, where they get into a bit more, I guess, characterization. We get more Trucy too, hell yeah. Well, that'll be for next week. The next stream, though, will be more Persona 5 Royal. And that will be on Sunday night, so please look forward to that. But for now, that's all for me. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed these streams as much as I have. There's a lot more to come. You're welcome, Zaya, and thank you for stopping by. Always glad to have company. Well, I wish you all a good night. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Be well. Stay hydrated. And I'll see you guys very soon.